Yeah, there are mantras that are general healing mantras like Om Mate. And this mantra, there is a very specific eye healing mantra. It's a very precise tool. It's for seeing better inwardly, but it's for good, clear vision. Beautiful mantra. And I come often to the Netherlands, and I'd be really interested in talking with you and connecting about this. Signed, Christina, Princess of the Netherlands. So somebody is messing with me. This is a joke.
OM CHAKSHUHU, CHAKSHUHU, CHAKSHUHU.
I did earlier how I use mantras, so trying to feel into what is it that I need. And
Yeah.
so sometimes I have issues with headaches or feeling really stuck in my head. And then I came upon the Om CHAKSHUHU, which is a beautiful mantra with a very high voice. And it's remarkable. Even in spite of my headaches, I fall asleep.
Ah, okay,
It's
great.
really
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
But
What?
it makes me laugh because one of the things
Excuse me.
Keshavardas had a great sense of humor. He said, "Well, when you're chanting mantras, you either go to heaven or you go to sleep."
Well,
Okay.
I do both.
Yeah. Great. Yeah. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, that's a beautiful
Yeah.
eye healing mantra. That actually, I got that mantra. Keshavardas pointed me to that when almost 40 years ago, when a dear friend had a new little baby who had a terrible eye infection. They were doing everything they could, really working close with doctors. And they asked, "Is there anything you could do, Henry, as a mantra?" I mean, they were very concerned that she could lose her vision. And I asked Keshavadas, and he said, "Yeah, there are mantras that are general healing mantras like Om Mate. And this mantra, there is a very specific eye healing mantra. It's a very precise tool. It's for seeing better inwardly, but it's for good, clear vision." Beautiful mantra that I chanted then for 40 days and then more for this little girl. And it was a good hour every day of really, because it was a long text. And there was a wonderful moment when her father was saying, "I think her eyes are getting better." And we were walking in Germany. We were looking at her, darling little girl, and you could see he was holding her, and she was looking. Her eyes were moving across, and I looked up in the sky, and there was way high in the sky, there was a jet flying, little
Ah,
speck across the sky. And in that moment, for me, and we were laughing and celebrating, she could see very well. She was
yeah.
looking at this little teeny tiny jet plane flying across the sky. And I had the privilege of talking with her not long ago. She's a full grown woman in her, what, I guess she's in her 30s now. And she's become a yoga teacher in Berlin and was doing a special part of it. And so she wanted to do it about mantras, and she wanted to talk to me about the story in her family that we had chanted an eye healing mantra when she had had so much trouble, because her special passion was to do yoga and to chant mantras. So we had a great talk about that, and the story kind of came full cycle, and it's so wonderful when she's not just the recipient of something wonderful. I mean, we were supporting the overall healing coming from everywhere that her parents could mobilize it. But it certainly gave a lot of peace in the heart. At the very least, we were doing everything we could to help heal this darling little person. And she sure has bright, beautiful eyes, and she sees very well. So it's a really good story. Yeah.
A touching story. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And of
How
course,
great.
sorry.
And
And of
also,
course, it's the eyes and the sixth energy center, and I was talking about the head, that's the ears, the eyes, the forehead, that's all connected. But I'm wondering, I don't know if you want to share it, is the story about Christina, Princess Christina, because it's really quite an incredible story.
When I was making some recordings and was really saying, okay, what would be good? What would be a good one? I thought, oh, this wonderful, the CHAKSHUHU mantra. It's a mantra in which you call out to the sun by the name CHAKSHUHU. OM CHAKSHUHU, CHAKSHUHU, CHAKSHUHU. Tejaha stiro bhava. Mam pahi pahi tvaritam. CHAKSHUROGAN. Shamaya, Shamaya. Now, it's calling out for healing energy, and that's just a few lines of the beginning of a much longer mantra, which was the full length. And I thought, that's so beautiful. Maybe just that core would be a good thing to teach the people and to share in the groups. So I was busy with that and got a letter back in the days when people sent a letter through the post, and this letter came, and it was on, American style paper from New York, written in very big, bold type from a lady who said, well, hello, I understand you do mantras and you're chanting mantras. And of course, I'm very interested in music. And I come often to the Netherlands, and I'd be really interested in talking with you and connecting about this. Signed, Christina, Princess of the Netherlands. So somebody is messing with me. This is a joke. And I told some friends, what about this? And they said, well, there is a Christina, Princess of the Netherlands, who lives in New York, and she's been almost blind, quite since very early years. It's possible it is from her. So I checked.
And she is a singer.
And she's a singer, and she has the Princess Christina Fund, and she sponsors all kind of music. So I got in touch, and it was her, and she was great. And I said, well, Christina, I'm working on a mantra that I've chanted, and told her the story of this. And she said, I'd be very interested to chant this mantra. So I sent her my way of doing it. And when she would swim for her exercise, she would chant it to herself, and she was doing it. So she came for a time in the Netherlands, and bless her heart, we were doing our recordings at the wonderful studio out in Otterlake. Fred Kosters was the studio, the wonderful sound engineer who has since recorded many mantras himself. But we had a bunch of Dutch people. I said, okay, guys, look, you're our choir, and we're going to have, Christina, Princess of the Netherlands, is going to join us. So just act normal. She's another mantra chanter, and she drove up in the little, black chauffeur-driven car and had somebody with her who's a wonderful person. And she just chanted with everybody, and it was great. And we had a wonderful time. And then she did some special things on her own. And she was doing it a little bit in a kind of a operatic style, a little bit perfect voice, but we were really missing the heart of it. And Ricky, who was very impulsive and very intuitive and heartfelt, kind of said, oh, let me go talk to her. So she sort of jumped out of the recording studio and went over to Christina and said, Christina, listen, what we need from you is that you sing this like you are singing to a little child who cannot see, and that you're bringing this heart energy of the sun into this child through your voice. So sing the healing from your heart and from the sun right into this little child. And bingo, her voice quality really changed, became gloriously to the heart. And that's what comes through in the recording. And thanks to Fred's wonderful engineering, he put all the pieces together in a gorgeous way. It's very heart touching. So it was
just beautiful.
And heart healing also for Christina. She came to a more spontaneous way of using her beautiful voice as a healing tool.
Wow. So we can listen to this song where you can hear.
Mantras for inner peace. Yes,
yeah.
She is. I don't know exactly how many minutes down into the recording, but you can find that beautiful high voice dancing over the. They did what is it? NPO today did a documentary of her life, and they featured that CD. Unfortunately, they just played it from the beginning, where you hear my voice. It was an honoring of her life. They didn't go down into it far enough to get her voice, but you can do it.
I can do that. Yeah, we're going to fix that.
Chakshuhu, chakshuhu, chakshuhu.